The generic slot inventory component uses a concept of item info objects to keep track of a player's inventory. All inventory item definitions must derive from the base class BP slot inventory item info base to be managed by the slot inventory component. The slot inventory component has various helper functions, including add item from info class, and remove item, that allows you to manage its inventory. In the item info base class, you will see many functions and properties for you to override and configure in order to define the behavior of an inventory item. The most important property of an item info object is its slot property, as this determines which slot the item should be stored in. There is no limit to the number of slots an inventory can have, but please note that the first slot is slot 0 and not slot 1. The slot inventory UI displays the first slot as slot 1 to be more human friendly, but the first slot does indeed have a slot index of 0. All items also have a friendly item name and icon properties that determine how this inventory item is displayed in UI widgets. With the provided widgets, icons should be 512 by 128 in size. Priority is a property that determines how item info should be ordered when they're added to an inventory. An item with a higher priority is ordered first or before an item with a lower priority. BInitialSpawn is a property used internally that determines whether an actor that this item represents has already been spawned. This will be more discussed in other concept videos. By default, you can hold an unlimited number of any type of item info objects. If you want to control this behavior, you can override the CanBeAdded function in your item definition. For example, if you only want to be able to hold one instance of a type of item, you can have CanBeAdded return false if a player's inventory already contains an item of that same or similar class. You can override the invoke function to allow this item to exhibit some sort of behavior when selected by a player. It is up to your player class to call invoke, however. Invoke returns whether or not this item was successfully invoked, as well as whether it should be consumed and removed from the inventory. This function is mainly used for consumable items that have a one-time effect and is completely optional. In this example, we have a jump booster item that when invoked increases your jump Z velocity by some sort of jump boost factor. If an item info object represents some kind of actor, as will be explained in other concept videos, you can override spawn actor and update from actor to handle the spawning and state updating of the represented actor. This is also optional. For example, in this cube item info object, when invoked, we call spawn actor, which will find a place 30 units in front of our player and spawn a cube, which will then return that it should be consumed and removed from our inventory.